What is going on, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Matt the Misfit. Tonight, we're going to go over Monday Night Raw, the final Monday Night Raw before Night of Champions, which happened Saturday night, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Saudi Arabia. A show I will not be covering, meaning reviewing. I'll go over that a little bit later on at near the end of this review, I guess, here. We got some unfortunate news to talk about as well regarding Raw, SmackDown, WWE as a whole when it comes to injuries, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube and the like button. Comment down below. Follow the social medias. Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter. Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram. The other audio outlets, which is Pandora, Audible, Amazon Music, YouTube. Obviously, you're going to listen to that here. YouTube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. You got Spotify, you also got Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and Google Podcasts. So that's what we got here. Let's talk about some of the unfortunate news situations here when it comes to injury reports. Because we did find out that we have 2 injuries confirmed by, I must have Fightful Select. This came from... It's actually one of these news sources come out from Wrestling Observer, but PW Insider did go on to confirm this. Dakota Kai suffered a torn ACL and is expected to be out for months. Will have to have surgery. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation here. Her injury came in the same match that Liv Morgan got injured, and we'll talk about Liv Morgan in a little bit. I saw the clip of Liv Morgan and the whole thing with Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai was trying to protect Liv's head, and while doing that, she came down on her leg, and her leg exploded right from underneath her. And it sucks that leg does not like Dakota Kai very much, which is sad to see. But I wish nothing but a speedy recovery for Dakota Kai, and it does look like reason why it's going to be EO. It's with Bayley, because it does look like they're going to speed up a little bit of the EO babyface turn, which I will talk about later, because I'm going to be doing predictions for the Night of Champions at the end of this review. Liv Morgan has an injury related, is said to be a shoulder injury. The rumor going around, it's a rotator cuff tear. Which means she won't be back for a while. We did find out from Fightful Select that her and Charlotte Flair are going to be in a wrestling movie. So that we found that out. So that's very, very interesting here. We also found out from Fightful Sean Ross that a lot of changes were made from the original plans on tonight's Raw. What those are, I'm not exactly sure, but we'll get into that. The show opened, however, with Cody Rhodes getting that ass whooped. The show opened, Cody's walking in the back here. Or actually, the show did not open with Cody Rhodes, excuse me. Nope, I'm correct here. My notes are all over the place here. Cody Rhodes, actually, we did see Cody Rhodes open up with that ass whooping from Brock Lesnar. He gets fucking pounced, sends him into a table, and Cody Rhodes just gets his ass whooped. And Cody Rhodes is out in pain, and we see a lot of Cody Rhodes throughout the show, which leads to Paul Heyman coming out to the ring. He introduces himself, as he always does, and says he has nothing to do with Lesnar's attack, which is very interesting that he just said, hey, I have nothing to do with Lesnar attacking Cody Rhodes. That's kind of funny. Anyway, he says what happened is an example of what Lesnar will do to Cody Rhodes at Night of Champions. Then says that his appearance on last week's Raw was well received. By who? I don't know. He was invited back, and he said that he promotes the 3 main events for a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon, whatever the fuck you want to call it. and the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match between the Bloodline and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. He gloats that how Reigns and Sikoa will win, and then welcomes them to Raw. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's music hits. I'm assuming both their music hits. I remember. So, like, when I wrote this down, I wasn't paying attention to the sound. So, Sami Zayn appears as, Heyman's heading out to the ring here. Zayn makes fun of Heyman for leaving, mocks him for being afraid. He says himself and Owens are feeling pretty good. Then says the Undisputed Tag Team Championship match is personal to him. Says that he has nothing left to say, but he has nothing left to say because he said it all to Roman on SmackDown. Owens says that Reigns dedicated the SmackDown Tag Team title match to the Samoans on Friday, then says he was inspired to do the same, then dedicates the match to the Usos. Zayn says they have business to take care of tonight, addresses their 6-man tag match with Imperium before he can continue. Imperium's music hits. Gunther, Ludwig Kaiser, and Giovanni Vinci make their way to the ring. Imperium is surrounding the ring, but Matt Riddle comes down to even the odds and to join the tag champions in the ring, which causes Imperium to back down. Riddle begins chatting with Owens and Zayn in the ring before Imperium tries to blindside them. Riddle and Owens and Zayn gain the upper hand, and they dump out the Imperium to the ring. And then we got Ricochet taking on Bronson Reed in a fine match here. But before that, Byron Saxton is trying to get a medical update on Cody Rhodes. Adam Pearce emerges and Saxton asks Adam for information. Pearce says that he has none at this time. Saxton addresses the rumor that Cody has a quote-unquote broken arm. Pearce reiterates his point. Then we had a really fun little match here between Ricochet and Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, who I think is one of Triple H's better rehires since Triple H became head of creative and talent relations. This was done mainly to make Bronson Reed look like $1 million, and it did. Tsunami Splash for the win. Bronson Reed looks great. Ricochet will bump for anybody at this point. Then we go backstage with Kathy Kelly, who's there with the smelling Apollo Crews, who is there to express a concernment for being on Raw. Why would you do that? Dominic Mysterio and Mommy Rhea Ripley, they come in the frame here. Dominic says this is supposed to be Rhea's time. Kathy explains she was supposed to speak with Rhea after Cruz. Dominic and Cruz exchange words, so they have a match for later on tonight. Rhea then grabs the mic, looks to challenge Natalya to a match at Night Champions for the SmackDown Women's Championship, by the way. Cruz cuts her off and says this is his time, and Dominic. They've just said this whole thing sets up a match between Dominic and Apollo Crews later on. Then we got part 3 of the sit-down interview with Seth Rollins when he's with Corey Graves having this interview with Seth Rollins here, which was going on last week. Corey asked Seth his thoughts on Roman Reigns' title run and says that he loves Roman, but he doesn't like him anymore. He says he will always love Roman, but because he was always there for him, but he has no respect for the person and the champion he's become. He says that Reigns has taken opportunities away from anyone else, which is true. And he says he wants to become World Heavyweight Champion, so everybody forgets about Roman. I would love to forget about Roman Reigns as the Universal Champion, Seth. I would love to do that. He says as a title holder, he wants to help push the industry forward Graves then asks Rollins about facing AJ Styles, and Rollins says Styles is one of the greatest in-ring performers of all time. He brings up their match from April of 2006, which is a match I've seen. It was early Seth Rollins as Tyler Black on the Independents with AJ Styles, who was still working with TNA at the time. And the really early years of TNA's height and Seth and AJ Styles' peak, in my opinion. Since nine champions, there will be no difference. They also had a great match at Money in the Bank a few years ago, about 3 or 4 years ago. It was for the Universal title, which was great stuff. And then we had Zoey Stark defeating Candice LeRae. This was set up last week where Zoey Stark got in like Nikki Cross was minding her own business. Zoey Stark kind of got in Nikki's grill in a way, and then Candice comes in and says, so mind your own business. They set the match here, and this match was a squash in a way. This was done to make Zoey Stark look great, and B, further the storyline between Nikki Cross and The Way, which looks to be setting up, in my opinion, SAnitY reunion taking on The Way. They're also been teasing the stuff with Tommaso Ciampa coming in too, because every week they say, well, he's coming back. I think he's going to be great, is what Johnny said, and both Indy Hartwell and Candice is like, I don't think that's a good idea. I don't trust him, because you shouldn't. After the hell that he put you and Johnny through, you shouldn't trust Tommaso Ciampa. Ciampa's looking ripped, by the way. Hope Ciampa comes back soon here. Then we go to Byron Saxton, who's back with Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali is about to talk about his Intercontinental title match with Gunther. Before he could say a fucking thing, Brock Lesnar comes in, comes walking through here and tells Mustafa, this is my favorite line of the night, tells Mustafa Ali, get a life, kid, and just walks off. And I'm like, this motherfucker made another meme. Oh my god. That was funny. That was some funny shit. And now everybody's going to use that for trolling. It's going to be great. Then we had Brock Lesnar come out here. Says that Lesnar then just mocks Cody Rhodes by asking Hershey what they want to talk about because they're in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Then says Rhodes will not be at ringside tonight or at Night Champions. He says he will not let down the fans and issues an open challenge for anybody in the back to face him on May 27th. Cody comes out with an arm sling around him, and Pierce and the other officials try to talk him out of it. And Rhodes gets his ass whooped again. Cody hits not Cody. Brock puts on a Kimura lock, and that's how that segment ends. It's not the last time. Again, it's not the last time we've seen of Cody Rhodes here. Then we had the Alpha Academy with Maxine Dupree defeating the Viking Raiders. Now, this is very interesting because, what the fuck happened to Mansoor and Marseille? Did they just disappear or something here? Because it was supposed to be, I don't know what happened to the Maximum Male models, but I guess Maxine Dupree kind of just, abandoned the other two. But, Gable rolled up Ivar for the win after the distraction by Valhalla running off Max Dupree here. And Chad Gable takes the advantage for a roll-up. Alpha Academy get the win here. Nothing really special here. I think it should be. Anyway, but it was whatever. Byron Saxton is waiting once again in the medical room for Cody Rhodes. Adam Pearce breezes past him and heads in, but Cody shouts at him to get out, and Pearce does so. Then we have Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Finn Balor. This was one of my favorite matches of the night. This was very good. Those two have always had great chemistry with each other. Great offense here, too. Go back and forth here. Near the end of the match, Damian Priest gets involved here. Distraction finish here, which allows Balor to hit a coup de grace to get the win on Nakamura. Continuing. It looks like they're going to continue a feud here with Balor, Judgment Day mainly, and Nakamura, which should be fine, I guess. Raquel Rodriguez heads to the ring because we found out, like I said, Raquel Rodriguez had to vacate the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. So next week, I want to say they're going to have I think it's next week, they're going to have a fatal 4-way match to crown new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. It's going to be Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville taking on Io Sky and Bayley, Shayna and Ronda, and Raquel is going to team with Shotzi because that was who they had in here. This match was nothing important here. Hita Bomb for the win. After the match, Chelsea Green tries to blindside Raquel, Dakota, all this stuff here. Not Dakota. Shotzi comes down there, tries to hit the save, and that's how that segment goes off. Whatever. Ron and Shane are going to win the tag titles next week. I'm just saying. Then we head to the ring. We have a backstage segment here with Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce tells the officials tell there's a referee here tells Adam Pearce that something about refusing to let anybody in before Trish walks in and asks Adam Pearce to make a no-touch policy during the contract signing with Becky Lynch. Pearce says he didn't see a need for one and walks off. Then we had this actually really good segment here with Becky and Trish. Becky just ruined Trish here. Basically saying, I'm glad I didn't become what you became because I became a bigger star than you, is basically what she's saying. Because it's technically true. Like, I love Trish, but Becky became a bigger star than Trish Stratus is. Realistically, if you think about it, a lot of people know who Becky Lynch is outside of WWE. Not a lot of people know who Trish Stratus is outside wrestling. If we're being completely honest here. But this segment ends with a table flip, and their match is official for Saturday as well. And then we had backstage Adam Pearce on the phone explaining the situation with Cody Rhodes. That's basically the last time we hear and see of Adam Pearce all night. Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley head to the ring here. Before that, Raquel and Shotzi are backstage. They talk about wanting to win the tag team titles next week. They're not going to. They have no fucking chance in hell. And basically, nothing changes for Apollo Crews on the main roster. Dominic Mysterio wins with a frog splash off of a distraction. And that's how it goes here. We didn't see Natalya on the show, by the way, but that match with Natalya is taking place on Saturday with Rhea Ripley. Then we have a video hyping up the what should be the main event on Saturday between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles for the World Heavyweight Championship. We go from there to the final, I guess, sit-down interview between Corey Graves and Rollins. Graves asks Rollins why he's winning the World Heavyweight Championship is so special for Rollins. Rollins says it's time for change. Rollins says he's worked hard to become the guy, and wrestling is his first love. He says that he's been given a life beyond his wildest dreams. Says that he wants to be the best he can be. World Heavyweight, he says the world title is his moment to do something special. And then he goes on, and he says he's going to go all in. Says he's putting everything he has into the finals to create something special and legendary. Well, he didn't say special, but I added that there. Then says he wants to become he wants to be someone the future can look to as the guy. And Corey Graves and Patrick, fucking dude from Ireland, runs down the card for Night of Champions main event. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle defeat Imperium in an incredible main event here. Near the end of the match, Owens ascends to the top rope, lands a frog splash. Sami Zayn and Kaiser then tag in. Sami delivers a back body drop and a Michinoku driver, then sets up for a hula kick. Kaiser ducks out of the way. Zayn clotheslines him to the outside of the ring. Gunther tags in, fires off chops, but Zayn levels him with a blue thunder bomb, which looked impressive as fuck. Goes for the pin, but Vinci breaks to the pinfall. Owens takes him down with a stunner before Kaiser sends Owens crashing to the outside. Zayn clotheslines Kaiser out to the ring, then sets up for a hula kick on Gunther. Gunther manages to lock in a sleeper hold. Matt Riddle was able to break up that hole with a floating bro. Zayn then lands an exploder, looks for a hula kick on the legal Vinci, but Gunther grabs his ankle. Matt Riddle then sends him crashing over the announce table as Zayn lands the hula kick and tags in. Owens then delivers a swanton bomb for the win. 1, 2, 3. And like I said, Zayn, Owens, and Riddle win after a great fucking main event here. Then, after that, we go to Triple H, who makes a rare appearance on Monday Night Raw. He visits Cody Rhodes. He says Cody says, tells them to go away. They don't listen. Triple H doesn't listen, rather. He sits down with Cody. He tells him that he knows he's angered, but he needs medical attention. Cody refuses to get help for his arm. Triple H says he knows. He says they both know his arm is broken. He says he knows Rhodes. Cody is afraid. Cody gets a little enamored here with Triple H saying Cody then questions what he's saying, what he has to be afraid of. Triple H explains that Cody is afraid of not being cleared. It says that he doesn't have to prove anything to anyone. He says he's seen Cody wrestle with a torn pec, but this is different. He reminds Cody of the year he spent on the shelf, but Cody cuts him off and asks Triple H, what would he do? What he's done. He says he fought. He tells Triple H basically he's fought, and he will go to Night of Champions to fight Brock Lesnar, and that's how the show goes off the air. And I think that match is going to turn into an unsanctioned match. I don't think they're going to sanction the match, and I think that's what's going to happen here. But that was Monday Night Raw in a nutshell. There, fine little show. Nothing like big happened. We had 3 great matches here. With reminds me of the old NXT. I love how the show matches started off with NXT in the middle, NXT, and then at the end NXT, which I thought was pretty good here. Let's go over the card currently as it stands for Night of Champions. We have Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. Rhea Ripley defending the SmackDown Women's Championship against Natalya. Bianca Belair defending the Raw Women's Championship against Asuka. Gunther defending the Intercontinental title against Mustafa Ali. The tag team titles are going to be on the line with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defend against Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. Cody versus Brock. And the World Heavyweight Championship match between Cody Rhodes and I must say Cody and not Cody Rhodes. What the hell is it? Rollins and AJ Styles. Here is my little quick predictions here. I think this is a one-off here. I do think Becky is going to go on to do something else after going into SummerSlam. So I think Becky's going to get the win here, which is going to set her up for Rhea Ripley to retain against Natalya, because Natalya has no fucking chance in hell of winning the title. That's going to set up Rhea versus Becky for SummerSlam, my prediction there. I personally want Asuka to win here against Bianca Belair, because I personally want Asuka and Io at SummerSlam. So, I'm gonna pick Asuka here to go, because like, why even do this match again if you're not gonna have Asuka win here? Gunther is absolutely going to destroy Mustafa Ali. I do not see them doing much with Mustafa Ali in this match here. Gunther is going to retain the Intercontinental Championship. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are going to retain against the Bloodline, because I think the Usos are going to play a factor in the decision of that match. Cody Rhodes is going to get another victory here over Brock Lesnar. And Seth Rollins is going to become your new World Heavyweight Champion. That is my quick predictions of that show, Night of Champions. We have AEW AEW Double or Nothing this weekend. That should be a lot of fun. We also have Stardom's Fighting Champions 2023. That is happening, I believe, our Flashing Champions, not Fighting Champions, Flashing Champions. That is this weekend as well. Let's run down this card here real quick. We have Stars, SAnitY. Let's go through this card here. We have Shiri and Sakura Aya taking on Remy, Rebel and Enemy, which is Ram Kachao and Maki Ozaki. Ozaki, I think I pronounced her name correctly. I apologize. Stars of SAnitY and Momokogo take on Queen's Quest Lady C and Miyu Amazaki. Hina Utami Hayashishita and Zaya Kamatani from Queen's Quest will take on Starlight Kid, Ruka, and Rina. Stars is Mayu Iwatani and Hana will team with Hazuki and Koguma to take on Club Venus' Mariah May, Azina, Jessie, and Miss Waka herself. Tsukiyama. Micah will not be teaming with Strong Girl. Will not be teaming with members of the Donna Del Mondo, which is very interesting here. And telling me where they're going to go with this here. I was talking with my friends about this. She's teaming with Suzuki and Mei Sarura. They'll be taking on Neo Stardom Army. I'm not going to pretend to even pronounce their names here. Azumi will defend her High Speed Championship in a three-way against Saki Kashima and Fukujin Death from both members of Oedo Tai. Goddess of Stardom's tag team titles will be defended here. The New Arrows, Amy Sururi and Mirai will defend their titles against Natsuko Toro and Momo Watanabe of Oedo Tai. Oedo Tai is all over the show this weekend. Restart, which is Kairi Natsupoi and Saori Ayano will defend their titles against Julia Thekla and Mai Sakurai from Donna Del Mondo. That should be interesting. Ooh, I can't wait to see Julia and fucking Kairi buttheads. That'd be great. And in the main event, winner takes all, World of Stardom, Wonder of Stardom Championship match. Tam Nakano, Mina Shirakawa. I'm gonna predict on that one. Time limit and draw, because I don't think they need to fucking unify. I don't think they're going to. They may or may not, but I just don't think that needs to happen here. So there's that. We do have a little bit of the card for Double or Nothing too. I might as well run through that here. I'm going to run through that card on Wednesday as well for the Dynamite review. But here's the current card as it stands here. Adam Cole and Chris Jericho in an unsanctioned match. Ethan Page and the Guns take on Isaiah Cassidy and the Hardy Boys. The winner of that, if the Hardys and Isaiah Cassidy win, they will own Ethan Page's contract. Jade Cargill will defend the TBS Championship against Taya Valkyrie. Blackpool Combat Club will take on the Elite, which is going to be, which as of right now, it's just Bryan Danielson, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, and Wheeler Yuta taking on Omega, Nick, Matt, and Hangman Page. Jamie Hayter will defend the AEW Women's Championship against Toni Storm. That should be a good one. Orange Cassidy will take on 20 other people in a 21-man Blackjack Battle Royal for the International Championship. Wardlow will defend the TNT Championship in a ladder match against Christian Cage. FTR will defend the AEW Tag Team titles against Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Mark Briscoe will serve as the guest referee, I hope this is not the main event. The Anarchy in the Arena should be the main event, but MJF will defend the AEW Championship against Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy, Jack Perry, and Darby Allin. And also, speaking of AEW, I might as well mention this here. Aussie Open had to relinquish their tag team titles, both for New Japan Strong and the IWGP Tag Team titles. Mark Davis suffered an injury. I don't know what the injury is, but I had to relinquish. It was announced yesterday. I had to relinquish the championships. Also, we found out Mercedes Moné suffered what seems to be a broken ankle during her match with Willow Nightingale for the inaugural New Japan Strong Women's Championship, which Willow Nightingale ended up winning. We do know that possibly that's going to be Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP United States Championship. So that maybe, and we also found out that maybe it's going to be Jon Moxley versus Kazuchika Okada. So that should be a lot of fun. But what I'm doing this weekend, I'm going to be reviewing Flashing Champions. As always, it's going to be happening after I watch. Maybe it's probably going to be happening after I watch the show on Saturday morning. Or after I watch the other show, the United Champions show. Or maybe in the afternoon, somewhere around there. Then on Saturday, we're going to do AEW Double or Nothing. I am going to be back here Friday for not Ring of Honor. What the hell is that damn other show? Nope. What the hell is the other wrestling show that's coming on? SmackDown. There it is. Took me a second here. But until then, I've been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. All the links down in the description down below. I will see you guys back here for Wednesday Night Dynamite. Until then, we're out.